If you're born in the 21st century, you open your eyes, and your whole family is standing around the bed, their faces a mix of worry and happiness. You're cared for with the best things available: good milk, warm clothes, kind wishes. You grow up, go to school, are taught how to be a decent human being, and you're allowed to dream. You work, fall in love, get married. Life is tiring at times, sad at times, but overall, you get to choose how you live. You're allowed to complain. Life is so hard, and that is completely allowed. But if you were born in ancient times, the first thing you do isn't to cry. You scream, OMG. Not because of the pain, but because you realize you've just been dropped into survival mode. You're placed on the ground to be inspected. No crying arrow, forget it. Weak crying implies probably won't make it through the winter. Loud crying to, all right, let it live. Congratulations, you've earned the right to exist. Now I will divide your life into 4 parts, imagining you were born in ancient times. Part 1, birth, the universe's quality control check. Ancient times. You were born in ancient times. Let's put it simply, you are not welcomed into the world. You are dragged out for inspection. No consent, no warning. The universe says only one thing: come out. The moment you appear, you're placed on the ground, cold, hard, in a position that, for the rest of your life, you'll pretend to forget. The whole village stands around staring at you. No one smiles, no one cries. The looks are like jewelers examining a gemstone. Then your life switches to autopilot. You don't cry, then everyone goes silent, then someone steps closer to you then and says, "This thing looks like an emotionless rock." You cry loudly, then everyone nods, then not happy, then just relieved. Like buying a tool. At least, it still has battery. Before you even know who you are, you're already taught humanity's first lesson. Breathe steadily. Don't think. Don't question. Just breathe. If you survive the first day, the universe hurriedly carves a line into stone. This one, we'll keep him for now. And that's it. You officially step into a chain of absurd events, non-refundable, that people later call life. The instruction manual includes Part 2, growing up. Being stupid means you lose your turn. If you survive birth, congratulations. You've just passed the easiest qualification round of ancient times. From this point on, everything wants to test just how stupid you can be. In ancient times, growing up wasn't about learning. Growing up meant surviving long enough to realize, so I really am stupid. Life teaches you with a very concise curriculum. This thing is edible. This thing makes your stomach hurt after eating it. This thing, once eaten, no one stays behind to write a review. No one comforts you with, it's okay. Mistakes are how you learn. Because here, mistakes are how you retire permanently. Ancient times don't call you stupid. They're much more polite than that. They just quietly remove you from the server. For example, you see a strange mushroom and think, probably the same as yesterday. You eat it. The poison kicks in. You die for trusting your own memory. You see a wounded wild animal and think, it's weak now. It's not weak. It's just angry. You die from misjudging another creature's mood. You stand at the edge of a cliff and say, let's jump down and see how deep it is. Gravity agrees to help you check. You die from curiosity with no plan to get back up. You swim farther out because you believe, I'm the main character. A cramp appears. The water doesn't care about the plot. You die for thinking you were the protagonist. Here, stupidity isn't laughed at because you die before you get the chance to learn from it. Part 3, adulthood, when you pretend you know what you're doing. If you survive to adulthood, congratulations. You've entered the most dangerous phase of human life, the phase of misplaced confidence. This is when you're no longer stupid because you don't know, but stupid because you think you know enough. You start making big decisions, backed by statements that sound very responsible. I've thought it through. I've got this under control. It's no big deal. And at that exact moment, the danger begins. You go hunting alone because you think, I know this path. You forget that the path doesn't know you. You die for trusting memory instead of reality. You treat illness using passed down experience. It worked fine last time. This time is different. You die for thinking your body prefers consistency. You get into a fight because you think, I know how to fight. The other person does too, and they've known how longer than you. You die for confusing confidence with skill. You step up to be a hero because you think, if not me, then who? No one. You die for being a hero without an exit plan. Ancient times don't hate you. They just don't love you. They don't punish. They simply don't save. You think adulthood means having control over your life. But in reality, adulthood is slowly reducing the number of stupid ways that can kill you. The people who survive to old age aren't the ones who are always right, but the ones who know when to retreat, who know when to say, let's leave it for another day. This doesn't need to be proven. It's okay to be afraid. So if today you're still sitting here, it's not because you've stopped being stupid, but because you're stupid enough to understand that some kinds of stupidity aren't worth dying for. Part 4. Growing old. When you know how to be afraid, but your body no longer listens. If you survive to old age, congratulations. Not because you're smart, but because you've dodged enough kinds of stupidity that could have killed you. This is the stage where you no longer feel the need to prove anything. No heroics, no recklessness, no let's see what happens. Not because you're wiser, but because you've seen too many people die over those exact words. You look at the things that once excited you and think, yeah, I was that stupid once too. You don't run fast anymore. You don't climb high anymore. You don't eat random things anymore. Not because you're scared, but because you know the price of underestimating consequences. In ancient times, old age isn't a number. Old age is an achievement. It's proof that you were afraid at the right moments. You ran away early enough, and you said no more often than, let's see. You start telling stories. Not to brag, but to warn. Back then, there was a guy who thought just like you. He's not here anymore. Not everyone believes you. But you keep telling them anyway. Because that's the only way you know to keep stupidity from repeating itself through another death. And then one day, you disappear too. No noise, no heroics, just leaving behind a few stories, a few scars, and an invisible footnote in history. This person wasn't perfect, but lived long enough to pass the lesson on. It doesn't sound heroic, but in ancient times, living long enough to grow old was already a victory. And thanks to small victories like that, today, you're here, able to read all the way to this final line. In the end, you don't defeat life. You just survive long enough to tell the story. And that counts as success.